excuses or reasons for not winning the Premier League title, will injuries be the very top of that list?
For sure. Red cards and injuries for sure. But without that, we don't know what would happen. Will it be much closer? For me, the answer is without a question, yes, with what we are producing and the performances that we have. But we're going to have to do something else because the VAR will be raised. And when you look at the amount of points that we have had in the last 3 seasons, the consistency of that not winning a title, I think it's very rare. So we are very close. We are closing the probability so much. So we have to continue to be there and better, and that's the aim.
Hit the like button, please, people. Make sure you're subscribing. I'm really interested to get your comments on this. I saw so many people this weekend angry. I got tagged, DM'd, private messaged. You've got to look at what Arteta said. It's a disgrace. No accountability. He purely said that Arsenal didn't win the league because of injuries and red cards. So I watched the clip. Certainly mentions the injury crisis, and he's gone through that a few times recently, and some of the red cards, because some were deserved. Some of the red cards have stopped them being closer to Liverpool. So first of all, he didn't say if they had no injuries and no red cards, they would have won the league. So again, an exaggeration there over what he said. But he said closer. But he quite literally, after those words, said, but we need to be better. We've got to raise the bar because time doesn't stand still. Other teams improve. The level is getting harder and harder and harder to win the league. So irrespective, this is him speaking, not me, he knows that he and his Arsenal team need to get better. I really don't understand what is wrong with that comment. He believes that injuries and red cards have played a part. He's also stated they need to be a better football team. That's fair. I think that's fair. Would City have been a better team today, this season, had Rodri not got injured? Had their recruitment been better and their players not so old? I think so. Would Liverpool have been better defending champions if they didn't lose Van Dijk? If they didn't lose a lot of all their centre-backs? Would they have been better defending champions? Yes. It's so unfair to not include that in any way, shape, or form. But it is part of this weird obsession that I think has been created surrounding Mikel Arteta. And I'll give you an example. I've seen the mainstream media, like ESPN, discount, sort of call Arsenal season trophyless, which is absolutely right. It is a trophyless season. And as I have done the last 2 seasons, I'm judging Arsenal on their consistency in the league and the trophies they win. And they haven't won any trophies in these last couple of seasons. It's been 5 full campaigns. That deserves scrutiny and criticism. And Arteta's job should be on the line. Everybody agrees. But community shields are now being counted. And it isn't just ESPN, okay? Pep himself has said the club's fighting for the Champions League positions this season. Newcastle have won the Carabao Cup, Liverpool the Premier League, and Man City won the Community Shield. The others didn't win trophies. And I remember there's been almost no call out of this from Pep, towards Pep for saying this. But I remember Jose Mourinho being hammered when he said he won 3 trophies in his first season for Man United. Everybody and his dog slammed him. The Community Shield is not a trophy that we celebrate, that we hold up as an accolade. Arteta earlier this season, when questioned by a journalist, you've only won 1 trophy since you've been here. And he went, no, I haven't. I've won 3, because he included the Community Shields. That was laughed at. But there's mainstream media outlets that are including it as a trophy for City, but laughing at Man United and laughing at Arsenal for including it. Arteta gets called out for calling the Community Shield a trophy, but yet Pep is free to say it, and there's very little coverage of it whatsoever. There is a weird double standard. There truly, truly is. And I really want to know where you guys think that comes from. I'd love to understand. And I want to play another clip for you here. This is from Sky, and this is a really important one, because I think this obsession over trophies, and hear my full thoughts on this before you leave a comment, okay? And I'll know by your comments if you haven't listened to what's about to be said. But take a little listen here to Paul Merson.
I think Arteta's got till Christmas, till everybody starts. I mean, they will have to be in the top 2 at Christmas. to keep on going.
You think he's got to win something next season?
Yeah, I think next season, I think 4. Do you know what I mean? I think if you get to 4 and then no, you can't, because everybody wants to play for Arsenal. Do you know, people come to Arsenal, so it's not like they're scratching to get players, and they've got the money. For me, yeah, next year he's got to be in the top 2 by Christmas.
Or?
Yeah, they'll go for someone else. They will. It's timings. You know.
I don't get it. Top 2 by Christmas, or they get rid of him. Again, context is needed. Context is needed. What if he's 3rd but 1 point off top? They've got to get rid of him. This is absurd. He's got to be in the title race. He can't be out of title contention. I agree. If they're sitting 6th and they're 15 points, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're 2nd. If they're 2nd and they're 15 points off top and they've dropped too many points, I get Mercy's situation. But you can't just say, if he ain't 2nd, he's got to go. What if he's 4th but 2 points off top? Because there's 4 teams fighting for the league title. What, you just sack him at that point? Come on. What are we doing here? It is crazy. And this obsession has got to a point where I'm now seeing Arsenal fans. And by the way, they're already writing off next season, the Arteta routers. We're not going to come inside the top 5. We're not going to challenge. It's going to be disastrous. The new signings might not work. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't even want to speak about it. It's going to be disastrous. It's going to be awful. And look, they could end up guessing and being right. But there is no signs. There is no data. There is no... You look at the players they're looking to sign. There's nothing that indicates that Arsenal are going to have this complete drop-off next year. It may happen, but at the moment, it's guesswork. I'm also seeing Arsenal fans now state they want to be in lesser competitions. They'd rather not be in the Champions League and be in the Europa League because they believe they have more chance in winning it. And this is such flawed logic because you can't demote yourself. You can't qualify for the Champions League and go, actually, can we move to the competition below? Give somebody else our place. It's never happened before. I don't even know if it's in the rules, but you can't do it. The only way is to qualify for the lesser competition, and you typically end up being a worse team. So the logic is you want to become a worse team to qualify for a lesser tournament. The issue then is you're not as good a team as you are now, therefore you may not win it. Keep hearing this nonsense, and this isn't just Arsenal fans. This is across football. Oh, I'd swap my season for Palace's. Oh, I'd swap my season for Newcastle's. Okay, we would all swap our seasons for a side that have won more than we have. It's just very not. It's like saying, I really like breathing. Otherwise, I unalive myself. Great. It makes a lot of sense. But would you actually swap positions with that club? With any Arsenal fan who wants Arteta out, would you swap everything with Palace to be Crystal Palace, to have their squad next season, their chances of winning the league, their chances of winning a trophy? Would you actually swap places with them? I'm not talking about nitpicking the parts you want. Would you swap places? Would you swap places? If the answer's no, your logic is flawed. I'm seeing fans now that have gone from I've got the highest standards in the world to I want to be a lesser team in lesser competitions because hopefully maybe we'll win them. The same fans, by the way, who hounded out a manager for winning FA Cups and not challenging for the league title. I know they want both and they're right to ask for both. But it's become an obsession that's now almost eating its own logic. It's not right. It is very strange. Take a look at this next clip. I want to get your opinions on this.
Winning trophies. It's about winning trophies. Yes, he got there, but he didn't get them over the line. It's the same thing. He always comes second. It's always next season about Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking again about next season. Now he wants to spend again in the summer.
So I want to stop Obi Mikel here. I absolutely agree with part of what he's saying. Arteta has only come second in the league. And it's always about next season. And of course, when you come second, it is always about the next season because there's only, you can take some positives from the campaign, but you haven't won. You have to look forward. You know, a boxer that loses the title fight, he has to think about his next fight. His next opportunity is going to get to win the title. George Groves is a great example of this, who lost 3 world title fights on the bounce, won his 4th. He had to look to that next point. That's sport. Again, it's illogical. What do you want Arsenal to do? What do you want Man United this summer to do? What do you want Tottenham to do? Not think about the future and try to get better? Or just live in this moment of shit, it was a crap season, but that's us for life now. What does this even mean in reality? But keep listening to the money part. The money part is interesting.
He's actually spent 700
million to 800 million he spent.
No, is that a lot over 6 years?
That's a lot of money over 6
You
years.
spent $1 billion in one season. Break it down, that's 34 players, 28 purchases, the rest on loan, over 6 seasons. It's actually not that much when you break it down like that.
I know that when you talk about us spending $1 billion, yes, we're in a transition period.
This is the issue. Quite a sizable chunk of the money that has been spent by Mikel Arteta was in their transitional period, though. Equally, they haven't spent 700 to 800 million. According to transfermarket.co.uk, since Arteta's appointment, it's 611 million when you convert from euros to pounds. To put that into context, the team they've competed with the most for the league title have spent 205 million pounds more than them. Now, that isn't me defending Arteta. He does need to win trophies. His job should be on the line. If Arsenal can find a better, more competent manager who they believe will take them to another level, they should consider it. I don't deny this. One, though, 100 to 200 million pounds is consistently being added to his transfer spend. Context is removed because they don't compare the amount Man United, the amount Chelsea, the amount City have spent in comparison. I even think Spurs in that time have spent more money than them as well. Yet they're in these races. But the weirdest part, the strangest part of this Mikel Arteta obsession from his detractors that want him out the club, rivals and the media, and they're all in on this together now. It's very strange, especially with the media doing it, because they're picking up, what the media are doing is they're picking up on fan banter and fan content, which sometimes is illogical because we're trying to always undermine each other and take each other's achievements away. Why does Arteta want to spend more? Why are Arsenal spending even more money? Because they have to win, lose, or draw. They have to spend money. They have to go and get a striker. But Arsenal keep getting told, you don't have a good enough squad, you've got to spend more. When they're going to spend more, they're told, well, why? Why? You've already spent loads of money. Because they have to. Imagine FSG didn't spend any money when they arrived in 2010 because Liverpool had spent hundreds of millions for 2 decades and won no league titles. Imagine that we can't spend. Imagine Man United now go, do you know what, guys? We've spent £1 billion in 12 years. We haven't won the league. We're going to stop spending now. It doesn't make sense. The club need to keep improving their squad, irrespective of who the manager is. Equally, Arsenal haven't spent exorbitant amounts of money more than other top 6 teams. So I don't understand why and there's only 2 teams that get this, Man United and Arsenal. Why our teams, My Club United and Arsenal, why are we the only teams that are chastised for wanting to spend money? Everybody else is applauded, thinking like a big club, serious. Our 2 clubs want to do it. Make do with what you got. Why wasn't that said about Pep in January? And don't tell me it's because he's won stuff and he's got credit in the bank. Our clubs have won things too. It is a really weird logic. And the last part I'm going to say on this, again, this weird obsession, this illness almost, with trying to, when it comes to Mikel Arteta, is who are the available managers to replace him? And I was someone recently that said Inzaghi should be someone that Arsenal are looking at. But what's really interesting is just listening and reading to what Inter Milan fans are saying about him. They're talking about how a man who has only 1 league titles in 4 attempts with what they believe to be the strongest team in Italy. And I was thinking about this the other day. Ancelotti isn't going to happen. He's gone Brazil. Arsenal can't get him. Facts. Simeone isn't leaving Atletico. Zidane doesn't want to come to England. Inzaghi's the name on that bit of content we made. And I'm not talking outside this community now, where a lot of people said, get Inzaghi, get Inzaghi, get Inzaghi. Now, I'm just throwing this out there, food for thought. I rate him, but I'm being objective here. If Inter Milan fans are talking about sacking him because with the best squad in his league, he's only won 1 out of 4 league titles, what makes people believe, this is an objective question, so I'm questioning myself here as well. What makes people believe that he would take over a squad that most rate as at least only the 3rd best squad? Some may say the 2nd best, but some say the 3rd best squad in England. What makes you think he can get over the line when Inter Milan fans want him sacked for having the best squad in Italy and only winning 1 of 4 league titles? I according to those tweets. I'm saying this is the problem. There is no foolproof solution. And there are things to criticize Mikel Arteta on. There's no doubt about it. But I don't like these narratives that are being created. Some managers are allowed to spend as much as they want. No one says a word. Others, every time they want to spend, it's scrutinized. And why don't they coach? This idea that no matter the context, if he isn't in the top 2 at Christmas, he's got to be sacked. What if they're killing it in the Champions League? What if they're through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup at that time? Punditry should be putting out this context. Stop acting like rival fans on fan channels. It's ridiculous. And for me, everything he says is twisted. Everything, like, again, I read the tweets from people. I can't believe he's blaming red cards and injuries. I watched the clip. He clearly says we have got to improve and be a better football team as well. But yet everyone says he never takes accountability. I'm weird. I'm a bit weirded out by it, to be honest with you. I want to get your views and I want to get your opinions. Is this the level of punditry? Is this what we expect from the media surrounding football? Is this right? Is this wrong? I want your views. I want your opinions in the comment section below. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace.